Hello everyone! In my previous two videos, I discussed Muni and BART respectively. Today, I'm going to finish the San Francisco Transit Trilogy, nice alliteration, by talking about the other transit operators that serve San Francisco. By San Francisco, I mean just within limits of the city and county of San Francisco. We'll start with the geography of SF. This is the exact same geography section from the previous two videos, so feel free to skip to the next section using the timestamps if you've already seen it. San Francisco is a consolidated city-county, meaning that the county of San Francisco is the city of San Francisco, and that is reflected in the city's official name, the City and County of San Francisco. San Francisco is situated at the northern tip of the San Francisco Peninsula, roughly in the center of the San Francisco Bay. Inside the city limits are Treasure and Yerba Buena Islands, the famous, or maybe infamous, Alcatraz Island, small slivers of Angel and Red Rock Islands, and the Farallon Islands, located way out in the Pacific Ocean. San Francisco is bordered to the south by San Mateo County, which itself is bordered to the south by Santa Clara County, which contains San Jose. To the north, across the access channel that leads into the bay, is Marin County, followed by Sonoma County. Across the bay is Alameda County and Contra Costa County, the former of which contains Oakland and Berkeley, and the latter of which contains Richmond. San Francisco proper is extremely hilly, which has been made famous by the many paintings and photographs that have come out of it. Unlike Miami or Chicago, SF lacks a unified grid system, instead having many intersecting grids, sort of like Atlanta. SF has two primary commercial airports. The bigger of the two is San Francisco International Airport, located in San Mateo County. The smaller airport is Oakland International Airport, located in Alameda County across the bay. The downtown core of San Francisco is centered around Market Street, which is a transit-only corridor on its eastern end. Along the waterfront near downtown is the Embarcadero, which is where all the city's famous piers are located. Last, the city has many large parks, including the Presidio, located right next to the Golden Gate Bridge, and Golden Gate Park. We'll start with Caltrain, which is a regional suburban rail service running along the West Bay. It is owned and operated by the Peninsula Corridor Joint Powers Board, or JPB, which is a special purpose district. Passenger service on this corridor has existed since it was first constructed in 1864, with various operators running the service over the years. The main portion of the corridor is 49.1 miles long with 24 stations. It starts at San Francisco 4th and King Station, sometimes known as Caltrain Depot. It runs south along the shoreline of the bay to South San Francisco, then onto Millbrae, where a transfer to BART to the San Francisco International Airport is available. It continues running south along the shore through cities like San Mateo, Redwood City, Palo Alto, Mountain View, and Sunnyvale and Santa Clara through San Jose to Tamian Station. Just south of Tamian, ownership of the line changes from Caltrain to Union Pacific. The line's main southern terminal is the station before Tamian, San Jose Diridan, where transfers are available to VTA Light Rail, Amtrak, and Altamont Corridor Express. Transfers to VTA Light Rail are also available at Mountain View Station. Transfers to the three counties' respective transit operators, Muni, SamTrans, and VTA bus networks are also available at various stations along the route. In regular service, every other local train begins and ends at Tamian, while the others begin and end at Diridan. All limited and express trains begin and end at Diridan. All trains run the full length of the line to San Francisco. On weekday rush hours in the peak direction, Caltrain operates 4 trains along UP's track between Diridan and Gilroy, which is a 29.9-mile route. Along the main portion of the route, there are a handful of stations that are only served part-time. Broadway is served on weekends only, and College Park is served during the nearby school's arrival and release windows. Caltrain has 5 service patterns on its line. The first is the weekday local, with trains numbered in the 100s. This makes all stops between San Jose and San Francisco, with alternating trains also serving Tamian. Next is the limited, which runs weekdays only during peak times. Trains on this service are numbered in the 400s. These trains make all stops south of Redwood City, then run express to San Francisco. The express service pattern, numbered in the 500s, makes limited stops along the entire corridor and also runs on weekdays during peak times only. Both the limited and express services originate and terminate at San Jose. The fourth service is the South County Connector, the 4 daily round trips running to and from Gilroy. These services are numbered in the 800s and feature a timed transfer to or from a limited or express service at San Jose. Last is the weekend local, numbered in the 600s, which makes all stops, including Broadway, with alternating trains extending to Tamian. As for fares, Caltrain uses a zone-based system, where the line is split up into zones and riders pay more the more zones they travel through. Caltrain up into 6 zones, with the first 4 covering the main corridor and zones 5 and 6 covering the South County connection. A one-way ticket costs between $4 and $15.25, depending on how many zones you travel through. Discounts are available for eligible groups and kids. Riders can pay their fare by buying a paper ticket at ticket vending machines at stations, by using a Clipper card, more on that at the end of the video, or by tapping their contactless bank card or mobile wallet. Caltrain also sells day passes that cost more than the zones it is valid for. These range in cost from $8 to $30.50, and once again, discounts are available. These can only be bought at TVMs. There are also monthly passes, which range in cost from $96 to $366, depending on the number of zones it is valid for. These can only be purchased using a Clipper card. Last for Caltrain is the rolling stock, or trains that they use. Their mainline fleet consists of 23 7-car Stadler KISS electric multiple units. They entered service in 2024 as part of Caltrain's electrification of the corridor. The trains draw power from overhead lines or catenary at 25 kV 60 Hz AC. For the non-electrified South County connection service, Caltrain uses a fleet of 6 Motive Power Industries MP36PH-3C diesel-electric locomotives, which pull a fleet of 41 Bombardier bi-level coaches. Since the line is part of the National Rail Network, it is 4 feet 8.5 inches or 1,435 millimeters standard gauge. The trains are maintained at the Centralized Equipment Maintenance and Operations Facility, or CMOF, located just north of San Jose Diridon. For the remaining transit agencies, we'll only discuss their operations that actually serve San Francisco proper. We'll start with ferries, the underdogs of the transit world. I love ferries and wish they would get more love, so I'll do that here. The first ferry operator that serves SF is the Golden Gate Ferry, which is owned and operated by the Golden Gate Bridge, Highway, and Transportation District, the same organization that operates the Golden Gate Bridge. Golden Gate Ferry has 4 main routes with a total network length of 33.8 miles and a special event route. Service is provided on all 4 main routes on all days except select holidays. All 4 routes emanate from the San Francisco Ferry Building. The first route runs to Larkspur, where timed transfers are available to and from SMART, and is 13 miles long. The second route runs to Sausalito and is 6.9 miles long. The third route runs to Tiburon, and the last route runs to Angel Island State Park. They are both 6.9 miles long. Each route only has a limited number of round trips per day. When events are on at Oracle Park, Golden Gate Ferry operates a special service from Larkspur direct to Oracle Park. None of the routes have intermediate stops, and none of them carry road vehicles, although they do carry bikes. Golden Gate Ferry charges different fares depending on which Marin County terminal you come from, and whether you buy a paper ticket or use a Clipper/contactless. A paper ticket from Larkspur, Sausalito, and Tiburon costs $14, and one to Angel Island costs $15.50. Using Clipper, the cost of travel to Larkspur is $9.25, $8.25 for Sausalito and Tiburon, and $9.75 for Angel Island. The cost for the special service to Oracle Park is $16.50. Discounts for the main routes are available for select groups. To finish out Golden Gate Ferry, we'll talk about their fleet. They currently have 7 boats in operation, 3 monohull, and 4 catamarans. The 3 monohull vessels are part of the Spalding class and are named Marin, Sonoma, and San Francisco. They were built in the late 1970s by Campbell Industries. Marin has a passenger capacity of 750, while the other 2 boats have a capacity of 630. They can each carry over 150 bikes as well. The next ferry is Del Norte, built in 1998 by Dakota Creek Industries. She is the first of the catamarans and has a capacity of 400 passengers and 30 bikes. Next is Mendocino, built in between 2000 and 2001 by Nichols Brothers Boat Builders. She can carry 450 passengers and 30 bikes. The next 2 boats, Napa and Golden Gate, are sister ships purchased used from Washington State Ferries in 2009 and 2011, respectively. They were originally built by Dakota Creek Industries in the late 1990s. They can carry 450 passengers and 30 bikes each. Golden Gate Ferry is in the early stages of a full fleet replacement. They plan on ordering 7 or 8 ferries of the Liwa class, which will each carry 500 passengers and be more environmentally friendly and energy efficient. The next ferry system is the San Francisco Bay Ferry, operated by the Water Emergency Transportation Authority. They operate 6 main routes with a system length of 73.4 miles. They also have special services to the Chase Center and Oracle Park, as well as short hop routes. I know I said I'd focus on just SF proper, but I feel like a look at SF Bay Ferry would be incomplete if I didn't cover all their routes. The first route is the Alameda Seaplane Route, abbreviated SEA. This route runs from the SF Ferry Building to Alameda Seaplane Base with no intermediate stops and is 5.4 miles long. It runs on weekdays only. The next route is the Oakland and Alameda route, abbreviated OA. It runs from the SF Ferry Building to Oakland Jack London Square with select weekday and all weekend trips serving Alameda Main Street. It is 6.4 miles long. The Richmond RCH route runs from the Ferry Building to Richmond 7 days a week with no intermediate stops. It is 10.7 miles long. The Vallejo VJO route runs from the SF Ferry Building to Vallejo with select trips extending to Mare Island. It runs 7 days a week and is 28.6 miles long. The South San Francisco route runs weekday rush hours in the peak direction only from Oakland Jack London Square and Alameda Main Street to South San Francisco. It is 14 miles long. The last regular route is the Harbor Bay route. It runs weekdays only from the SF Ferry Building to Harbor Bay near Oakland International Airport and is 8.4 miles long. Most trips occur in the morning and evening with only limited service midday. SF Bay Ferry has a route-based fare system similar to Golden Gate Transit. All routes except the SSF and VJO cost $4.90 one way. The SSF route costs $7.40 one way, and the VJO costs $9.90 one way. SF Ferry accepts Clipper and contactless. They also have a dedicated mobile app and TVMs where you can buy paper tickets. Unlike Golden Gate Ferry, there is no price difference between the different payment options. Now for my favorite part, the fleet. SF Bay Ferry has 18 boats in 4 classes, as well as a few one-off boats. The oldest boats on the fleet are Mare Island and Intentoli, which entered service in 1997. They can carry 330 and 349 passengers respectively, and can both carry 10 bikes. Mare Island was built by Dakota Creek Industries, and Intentoli was built by Nichols Brothers Boat Builders. The second oldest boat is Peralta, which entered service in 2002. She was built by Nichols Brothers and can carry 331 passengers and 20 bikes. The first class of boat is the Gemini class, consisting of Gemini, Pisces, Taurus, and Scorpio. These boats entered service between 2008 and 2009 and can carry 34 bikes each. Gemini and Pisces can each carry 235 passengers, while Taurus and Scorpio have a slightly lower capacity at 199. They were built jointly by Nichols Brothers and Kivachak Marine Industries. The Hydrus class entered service between 2017 and 2019 and consists of Hydrus, Cetus, Argo, and Carina. They can each hold 400 passengers and 50 bikes, and were built by Kivachak as well as Vigor. The Pixies class consists of Pixies, Vela, and Lyra, and entered service between 2018 and 2019. They can carry 445 passengers and 24 bikes each, and were built by Dakota Creek. The newest class of boats are the Dorado class, consisting of Dorado, Delphinus, Carl, and Zalophus. They entered service between 2022 and 2025 and can carry 320 passengers and 25 bikes each. They were built by Maverick Marine. SF Bay Ferry is also in the process of procuring new electric vessels. Here's an exciting thing to talk about to close out SF Bay Ferry: expansion plans. SF Bay Ferry has some seriously ambitious expansion plans as part of its Service Vision 2050 program. The first phase will see service from the SF Ferry Building to Mission Bay, Treasure Island, taking over from Treasure Island Ferry, and Berkeley. The second phase will see a lot more service to areas all over the bay. The last ferry operator is the Treasure Island Ferry, which runs between the SF Ferry Building and Treasure Island. The service runs 7 days a week with a single 44-passenger boat. Tickets cost $5 and must be purchased on their website, through their app, or in person. They do not accept Clipper. We'll now move on to the non-Muni bus operators that serve SF proper. First is Golden Gate Transit, run by the same authority that operates the Golden Gate Ferry. They have a total of 10 routes, 8 of which run into San Francisco, so those are the ones we'll talk about. The first category are the 2 regional routes, which provide all-day, 7-day-a-week service from Marin County into San Francisco. The other 4 routes are commute routes, which provide weekday peak direction-only service from Sonoma and Marin counties into San Francisco and back. Both route categories make limited stops, which makes sense given that these routes cover long distances. GGT has a small fleet of buses for its services. For the regional routes, they have 67 gillig low floors with suburban configurations, meaning the interiors look similar to coach buses. Speaking of coach buses, they use 56 Motor Coach Industries D4500 CTs for the commute services. They have 4 garages for their fleet. The first, Division 1, is off Anderson Drive in San Rafael. The second, Division 2, is in Novato next to US 101 off Redwood Boulevard. Division 3 is located at the corner of Pioneer Road and Industrial Drive in Santa Rosa. Division 4 is located under I-80 at the corner of 3rd and Perry Streets in San Francisco. GGT uses a zone-based fare model with 7 zones. Zone 7 is irrelevant for this video as none of the routes that run there run into San Francisco. You can see the zone map on screen now. Fares are the same for regional and commute buses and range from $2 to $14.75 for cash fares. Discounts are available for people using Clipper or contactless, which brings the fare ranges to $1.80 to $11.80. Select groups are also eligible for even further discounts. The next transit agency is SamTrans, short for the San Mateo County Transit District. As the name would suggest, they are the primary transit provider for San Mateo County to the south of San Francisco. They also have a handful of routes that run into SF proper. First are 2 weekday-only express routes running from San Mateo County into the Salesforce Transit Center in downtown San Francisco. The FCX runs during rush hours in the peak direction only, while the EPX runs all day in both directions. 2 local routes also run all the way into downtown SF, stopping at the corner of Mission and First Streets. These routes run 7 days a week. Last, 3 routes run into the south part of the city. To operate these routes, SamTrans has 187 Gillig BRT, 40-foot length mixed diesel and hybrid, 55 New Flyer XT60s, 16 New Flyer XE40s, and 10 New Flyer XHE40s, and 20 Gillig BRT Plus 40-foot length battery electric. SamTrans has 4 depots for its buses. Brewster Depot on Brewster Avenue in Redwood City, North Base off North Access Road just north of SFO, and South Base off Pico Boulevard in San Carlos. SamTrans has a flat fare of $2.25 if paying cash or with their mobile app, or $2.05 if paying with Clipper or contactless. Like other transit agencies, discounts are available for select groups. SamTrans also sells day passes for $4.50 and monthly passes for $65.60. The day passes are only available through their app, and the monthly passes are only available through Clipper. I almost missed this next agency. That is Commute.org, which offers last and first mile transit between BART and Caltrain stations and SF Bay Ferry terminals, and work sites, schools, and residential areas in San Mateo counties. 2 of their routes run into San Francisco. Their service is operated with everyone's favorite type of bus, truck minibuses. The service operates during rush hours on weekdays only and is fare-free. Next up is the PresidioGO shuttle, which operates 2 routes. The downtown route links the Presidio with downtown San Francisco, while the South Hills route runs as a circulator through the Presidio. Both routes operate fare-free, although select rush hour trips on the downtown route are reserved for people living and working in the Presidio, or those with a Muni visitor passport. They have a very small fleet of 3 truck minibuses, 5 ENC XHFs, 1 New Flyer XN40, and 2 BYD battery electric buses, which are stored in a parking lot next to Fort Winfield Scott. AC Transit, the main transit provider for the Bayside parts of Alameda and Contra Costa counties, operates 17 routes into San Francisco, all of which cross into the city via the Bay Bridge. First are 13 Transbay routes, which provide a commuter-oriented service into and out of San Francisco at the Salesforce Transit Center. 10 of these routes run on weekdays only during rush hours only, while the remaining 3 operate 7 days a week. Next, one of AC Transit's all-nighter routes also runs into San Francisco. The all-nighter network is a network of bus routes that partially replace BART and Caltrain services overnight when they don't run. Route 800 runs into San Francisco to the Van Ness Muni Metro station. Last, all 3 of AC Transit's Early Bird Express routes run into the Salesforce Transit Center. The Early Bird Express is another interagency network that runs service in place of BART in the early mornings. AC Transit operates 3 models of buses for the Transbay service. First are 54 Gillig low floors, 40-foot diesel, with a similar configuration to GGT's low floors. Next are 42 Alexander Dennis and Viro 500 double-decker buses. Last are 36 Motor Coach Industries D45 CRT LE coaches. AC Transit has 5 depots. Division 2, Division 1 is their headquarters, is located off San Pablo Avenue in Emeryville, next to Emory High School. Division 3 is located in Richmond at the corner of McDonald Avenue and 21st Street. Division 4 is in East Oakland at the corner of Seminary Avenue and San Leandro Street. Division 5 is their central maintenance facility at the intersection of International Boulevard and 105th Avenue in Oakland. Last, Division 6 is located off Mack Street near the Hayward Executive Airport in Hayward. Like most Bay Area transit agencies, AC Transit accepts Clipper and contactless for fare payments as well as cash. A single ride on a Transbay route costs $6.50. For Transbay routes, a monthly pass is also offered, and discounts are available for select groups. WestCAT is the transit provider for the western portion of Contra Costa County, and they have a single commuter route that runs into the Salesforce Transit Center, known as Lynx, not to be confused with Lynx, the main bus operator in Orlando. The route runs bi-directional service all day. Fares are $5 per ride. There is also a 10-ride and 31-day pass for $50 and $140 respectively. Reduced fares are available, you get the idea. WestCAT uses a fleet of 6 Motor Coach Industries D4500 CTs, 2 Provost X3-45s, 3 MCI D45 CRT LEs, and 3 Alexander Dennis Enviro 500s. The system's depot is located in Pinole at the corner of Walter Avenue and San Pablo Avenue. Another operator of truck minibuses is the Mission Bay Shuttle, which provides transportation from the Mission Bay neighborhood to Market Street with 4 routes. The service operates on weekdays only. I can't see anything on their website about fares, so I'm guessing it's free, but don't take my word for it. Yet another truck minibus operator is the East Bay Paratransit, which provides a paratransit service in the East Bay for people who are unable to ride normal fixed-route transit due to a disability or other issue. Due to it mirroring BART and AC Transit, its service zone also extends into downtown San Francisco. Riders must apply and be accepted into the program to ride, like most other paratransit services. Fares range from $6 to $10 when traveling into or out of San Francisco, depending on distance out of San Francisco and distance from Civic Center BART station. The last operator I want to talk about isn't technically in San Francisco proper, but I'm going to talk about it anyway because it's relevant, in my opinion. Also, I just like people movers. That is the AirTrain at San Francisco International Airport, which I am going to refer to as AirTrain SFO to distinguish it from the AirTrains at JFK and Newark Liberty airports. This is an automated people mover that transports people around SFO, which is massive. It operates landside or outside security, meaning it is accessible to the general public, which is why I'm talking about it here. It has 2 lines. The first is the red line, which runs in a 1.4-mile clockwise loop around the main part of the airport, stopping at all terminals, garages A and G, and the Grand Hyatt. The blue line runs the same loop counterclockwise, but also leaves the loop to serve the rental car center and long-term parking. It is 4.5 miles long. This gives the system a similar network topology to the Miami Metro Mover, which incidentally uses the same vehicles as AirTrain SFO. The connection to BART is located at the Garage G/BART station. AirTrain SFO uses 41 Bombardier Innovia APM 100 vehicles, which run on rubber tires on a concrete guideway. A center guide rail is used to deliver power to the cars and to make sure the cars don't run off the viaduct. The red line uses 2-car trains, while the blue line uses 3-car trains. The maintenance facility is located just past the Westfield Road station. Second to last, I'm going to talk about the Bay Area's Unified Fare Payment System, Clipper. The Clipper card is a reloadable card that riders can load money onto like a debit card. However, this card is only usable on transit in the San Francisco Bay Area. Some agencies also allow you to purchase multi-ride passes through a Clipper card. It is possible to create a digital Clipper card in your mobile wallet so you don't have to faff around with a physical card. There are reduced fare Clipper cards for select groups. The agencies partaking in Clipper have also rolled out contactless payment options so you can pay by simply tapping your bank card or mobile wallet. A promising development that's in the works is the Clipper Bay Pass, which will allow unlimited travel on all Bay Area transit agencies. It is currently in a pilot phase, but will hopefully roll out more extensively soon. The last thing I'd like to talk about are non-air intercity services available from San Francisco. Starting with the boring option, buses, SF is served by at least Greyhound, Megabus, and Flixbus. Amtrak services running through the Bay Area include the Coast Starlight and California Zephyr long-distance trains and the Capitol Corridor and Gold Runner regional trains. None of these trains stop in SF proper, however the Capitol Corridor and Coast Starlight stop at San Jose de Ridon, where transfers are available to Caltrain to complete the journey into SF And all 4 services stop at Emeryville, where Amtrak has a dedicated throughway coach bus, Route 99, to take passengers the rest of the way into downtown San Francisco, although this service only connects with the Capitol Corridor. There are also other stations in the Bay Area served by Amtrak and other local transit providers. After 11 and a half pages of citations, 24 pages of script, and 3 videos, we finally made it through all the transit serving the city and county of San Francisco. If you'd enjoyed the videos, be sure to like it and subscribe to the channel for more. If you want to support the channel further, you can do so by subscribing to my Patreon for early access to videos like these and bonus content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.